Picture this. A groundbreaking paper sits unread in a prestigious journal while a seemingly modest study transforms an entire field. The difference? Not the quality of the research, but the strategic choices made before, during, and after publication. Welcome back to Academic Writing Mastery. I'm Dr. Sarah Chen, and today's episode is different. We're not just going to talk about publication strategy, we're going to unlock the hidden patterns behind research that drives real change. Let me share a story that changed how I think about research impact forever. In 2019, two brilliant neuroscientists made nearly identical discoveries about memory formation. Both published in top-tier journals. Both had solid methods and compelling data. But 2 years later, one paper had sparked 3 international research programs and influenced clinical practice, while the other sat largely uncited. I spent 6 months studying these cases, and what I discovered will transform how you think about research publication and impact. Today, I'm sharing these insights with you. The impact paradox. Here's something that might surprise you. The correlation between journal impact factor and actual research influence is much weaker than most people think. Some of the most influential papers in history were initially published in relatively modest journals. What matters more is how strategically you position, present, and promote your research. Let me show you what I mean. Pull out your phone and look up any highly cited paper in your field. Chances are it shares 3 distinctive patterns that most researchers never notice. Today, we're going to decode these patterns and learn how to use them deliberately. The influence framework. Through analyzing thousands of highly influential papers across disciplines, I've identified what I call the influence framework. These are the 7 elements that separate research that gets read from research that drives change. I. Identity, strategic positioning, N. network, deliberate connection building, F. focus, clarity of contribution, L. leadership, field direction setting, U. understanding, audience insight, E. engagement, active promotion, N. next steps, future direction pointing, C. community, research ecosystem building, E. evolution, continuous development. Let's explore each element through real examples of research that changed fields. Identity. The power of strategic positioning. Most researchers think about positioning too late after the research is done. But the most influential papers are positioned strategically from day one. Consider these 2 abstracts from molecular biology. Version 1. This study investigates protein folding mechanisms in extreme conditions. Version 2. As climate change pushes more organisms toward their thermal limits, understanding how proteins maintain stability under extreme conditions becomes increasingly crucial. Our discovery of a novel heat shock response in deep-sea organisms reveals unexpected insights that could transform both evolutionary biology and biotechnology. The second version doesn't just describe research, it positions it at the intersection of multiple high-interest areas. It's not just about protein folding, it's about climate change adaptation, evolutionary biology, and biotechnology innovation. Network. Building strategic connections. Here's a secret most researchers never learn. Influential papers aren't islands, they're bridges. They deliberately connect different fields, methods, or questions in ways that open new research possibilities. Let me show you how this works. Pull up your current paper draft. Look at your references. Are they all from the same field? The same type of methodology? If so, you're missing a massive opportunity for impact. Consider Dr. Maria Rodriguez's work on quantum computing. Instead of just citing physics papers, she deliberately connected her findings to neuroscience, showing how quantum effects might explain neural computation. This one choice led to collaborations with 3 different fields and multiplication of her paper's impact. Focus. The art of contribution. Clarity. Here's a counterintuitive truth. Trying to show everything you know actually reduces your paper's impact. The most influential papers have laser focus on one clear contribution. Compare these 2 methods sections. Version 1. We conducted multiple experiments using various techniques including Western blots, PCR analysis, and electron microscopy to examine protein behavior under different conditions. Version 2. We focused on one crucial question: how do heat shock proteins maintain stability at extreme temperatures? Using a novel combination of high-pressure electron microscopy and real-time protein tracking, we revealed an unexpected mechanism that challenges current models of protein folding. The second version doesn't just list methods, it shows how each choice serves the paper's core contribution. Episode 3. Beyond publication, creating research that changes fields, continued. Leadership. Setting field direction. The most influential papers don't just contribute to their field, they help direct where it's going. This isn't about making grandiose claims. It's about thoughtfully showing how your work opens new research possibilities. Let me share a story that illustrates this perfectly. Dr. James Chen, no relation, published what seemed like a modest study on neural networks in 2021. Instead of just presenting his findings, he dedicated the final section of his paper to mapping out 5 specific questions his discovery raised. Within months, research teams worldwide were pursuing these questions, creating what he calls a cascade of discovery. Here's how to craft a discussion section that inspires future research. Weak version. More research is needed to fully understand these mechanisms. Strong version. Our discovery of pressure-sensitive quantum states raises 3 specific questions that could reshape quantum computing. First, can these states be maintained at higher temperatures? Our preliminary data suggests this might be possible using specific approach. Second, could similar mechanisms exist in other quantum systems? The mathematical model we've developed provides testable predictions for specific systems. Third, might these states be useful for quantum memory storage? We've identified potential applications in. Notice how the second version doesn't just point to the future, it provides specific pathways for other researchers to follow. Understanding. Deep audience insight. Here's a profound truth about research impact. It's not about reaching more people, it's about reaching the right people in the right way. The most influential papers show deep understanding of their multiple audiences. Consider these 3 audiences for your work. 1. Primary. Researchers in your immediate field. 2. Secondary. Researchers in adjacent fields who might apply your insights. 3. Tertiary. Practitioners who might implement your findings. Most papers only speak to the first audience. But the most influential papers include translation layers for each audience. Let me show you how this works. For a paper on quantum computing, primary layer. Technical details for quantum physicists. Secondary layer. Implications for computer scientists and materials researchers. Tertiary layer. Practical applications for technology developers. Here's how to implement this in your writing. Main text. Detailed technical content for primary audience boxes. Implications for field X. Targeted insights for secondary audiences. Sidebars. Practical applications. Actionable takeaways for practitioners. Engagement. Active research promotion. Let's address something controversial. Many researchers believe that good work promotes itself. The evidence suggests otherwise. The most influential papers are actively promoted by their authors in strategic, professional ways. Dr. Maria Santos's recent work on climate modeling provides a masterclass in research promotion. Here's her systematic approach. 1. Pre-publication shared working papers with key researchers presented at targeted conferences, built online presence around the research theme. 2. Publication created visual abstracts for social media, wrote blog posts explaining implications, developed slide decks for different audiences. 3. Post-publication organized workshop on implications, created research brief for policymakers, engaged with media inquiries. Notice how each activity maintains complete academic integrity while maximizing research visibility. Next steps. The art of future direction. The most influential papers don't end with conclusions, they open new horizons. This isn't about speculation, it's about thoughtfully mapping possible futures your research enables. Consider these 2 conclusion sections. Version 1. Further research could explore additional applications of these findings. Version 2. Our discovery of quantum coherence in biological systems opens 3 promising research directions. First, investigating whether similar quantum effects exist in other biological processes could reveal new mechanisms of molecular biology. Second, understanding how nature maintains quantum states at room temperature could transform quantum computing design. Third, these biological quantum systems might inspire new approaches to quantum sensor development. We provide initial protocols for exploring each of these directions in the supplementary materials. The second version doesn't just suggest future research, it provides a roadmap for the field. ## community. Building research ecosystems. Here's something fascinating. The most influential papers often become centers of research ecosystems. They create communities of researchers building on their insights. Dr. Alex Rivera's work on artificial neural networks is a perfect example. His paper didn't just present findings, it provided open source code for replication, included detailed protocols for extending the work, created online forum for implementation questions, organized workshops for interested researchers. Within a year, over 20 research teams were building on his work. ## evolution. Continuous development. The most influential papers aren't endpoints, they're launching pads. Their authors continue developing the work through follow-up studies addressing key questions, collaboration with groups building on their work, regular updates to the research community, integration of new findings and applications. ## practical application. The impact matrix. Let's turn these insights into action. I've developed what I call the impact matrix, a tool for maximizing your research's influence. Here's how to use it. 1. Position analysis. Field gaps. Your work addresses strategic connections to other areas, potential applications and implications. 2. Audience mapping. Primary, core field researchers; secondary, adjacent field researchers; tertiary, potential implementers. 3. Communication planning. Pre-publication strategy, publication approach, post-publication promotion. 4. Community building, collaboration opportunities, resource development, engagement platforms. ## real-world case studies. Let's look at how 3 different papers use these principles to drive change in their fields. ## Case 1. Medical Research Drive. Sarah Williams's paper on immune response mechanisms, connected immunology to neuroscience, provided clear protocols for replication, created research brief for clinicians, built active research community. Result: within 18 months, her findings were influencing clinical practice. ## Case 2. Computer Science Drive. James Chen's work on quantum algorithms, bridged quantum computing and machine learning, included open source implementation, organized implementation workshops, maintained active discussion forum. Result: created new subfield of quantum machine learning. ## Case 3. Climate Science Drive. Maria Rodriguez's climate modeling paper, connected climate science to public health, developed policy briefs, created visualization tools, built practitioner network. Result: influenced climate policy in multiple countries. ## Your impact journey. Before we end, let's create your personal impact plan. Take out your current research project and ask. 1. Strategic positioning. What larger questions does your work address? Which fields might benefit from your insights? What future possibilities does your work enable? 2. Audience engagement. Who needs to know about your findings? How can you reach them effectively? What resources would help them build on your work? 3. Community building. How can you facilitate collaboration? What resources could you provide? How will you maintain engagement? ## Looking ahead in our next episode, Digital Academic Identity, Building Your Research Brand, we'll explore how to create a strong online presence that amplifies your research impact. ## Your challenge before our next session. I want you to 1. Complete the impact matrix for your current project. 2. Identify 3 potential bridges to other fields. 3. Draft a community building plan. Share your work in our online community. I'll provide feedback, and you can learn from how others approach these challenges. Remember, research impact isn't about luck or politics, it's about strategic choices and deliberate action. Your work deserves to make a difference. These principles will help ensure it does. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Academic Writing Mastery. Next time, we'll explore how to build your digital academic presence for maximum research impact. See you then. End of episode 3.